Now we will continue with the testing problems. Sir, I python sir share ido.
Sir, the screen is കാണുന്നുണ്ട് പക്ഷേ
അല്ല ഞാൻ അയച്ചെന്ന് ഷെയർ ചെയ്തു അയച്ചെന്ന ഫയൽ ഷെയർ ചെയ്തോ
ഞാനിത് ഇപ്പോൾ ഷെയർ ചെയ്തു
അന്ന് ചെയ്തോളൂ എന്നാ പിന്നെ കുറച്ച് എളുപ്പമുണ്ട് Please take that file. Hello.
Sir.
Okay.
Sir, ഞാൻ കോപ്പി ചെയ്തു.
Yeah. Quickly, we will do one more problem. You have this data score, and you have to select. You have to test whether the average score is 625 or not. Average score is 625 or not. First, you have to look at the box plot. Box plot score. That is, you have to see whether the parent population is normal. That is one of the important assumptions of t-test. Yeah, almost normal. Almost normal. Okay. Then, if you want, you can do QQ-norm. QQ-norm score along with the QQ line score. QQ norm score and QQ line score. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here some problems are there actually. Here also some problems. In the middle, the values are almost there, but however, we have to satisfy with this one. Okay, then what is to be done? T-dot test. T-dot test, name of the data file, score, comma, mu is equal to 625, comma, that is enough. That is enough. If the alternative is less or alternative greater, then only we have to specify. Yeah, 0.714. Yeah, please, one of the students can tell me the answer. Tell me the conclusion. P-value is 0.4834. Here the p-value is 0.4834. Then what conclusion we have to write? What conclusion we have to write? 0.4834. If the significance level is 0.05, then what conclusion we can arrive at? Hello. Please tell me, don't worry about the... Reject avilla, correct. That is, the sample evidence is supporting the null hypothesis. Sample evidence is supporting the null hypothesis. It is good if you write a diagram also. Write a diagram also. Draw a diagram. Okay. Draw a diagram and 0. Okay. 0. T distribution is also symmetric about origin. Okay. And p value, what is p value? No, t value is 0.7171483. 0.71483. Okay, 19 degrees of freedom we have done somewhere. 19 degrees of freedom we have done somewhere. Okay, what is 0.71483 and QT 0.05. 0.025. 0.05. One value is enough. Minus 2.09. 0.71. Minus 2.09. That is minus 2.09 here plus 2.09 here. And what is the value you are getting? You are getting in 0.7 something. Therefore, it is in the acceptance region. Therefore, you can write an ornamental sentence. The sample evidences are insufficient to reject H0. Sample evidences are insufficient to reject H0. In other words, we accept H0, that is all. But we will not say accept H0, reject H0. Evidences, you have to put, you have to give stress to evidences because you are taking sample. Samples are evidences. The judge is giving judgment based on the evidences. Okay, that's all. Now we will go to two sample test. Two sample test. You take students of Kerala University, students of Kannur University, Calicut University. Okay, and you have to compare their scores. Maybe height or maybe weight, maybe IQ, whatever maybe. Okay, I have given this data to you. You take sample 1, sample 2, and you have to check. You have to check. Okay. Let us see for MF ROW equal to C bracket 1, 2. What is the purpose of that one? I have to draw two graphs in one sheet. Box. These are the things you have to do first. If the conditions of t-test are not satisfied, we have to go for some other non-parametric procedures. There are so many non-parametric procedures are there. No errors are there. I have not made any mistake. Yeah. Actually, it is not normal. Not normal. This one is okay. Somewhat. Okay. But QQ norm sample 1, QQ line sample 1, okay. QQ norm sample 2, QQ line sample 2, okay. That also you can do because we will take maximum 10 seconds. Yeah. Here you can see this is the diagonal line. This is the diagonal line. Here some outliers are there. They are far away from this line. Here 2 points are there. Okay. Actually, you have to clean the data. Cleaning the data. Okay, but such things I am not going to do now. And another assumption is the two populations variances should be same. Okay, therefore T dot test sample 1, sample 2, variance dot VAR dot equal is equal to T. VAR dot equal is equal to T. That is, we assume that the population variances are same. Okay, then select that one. Then select that one. Yeah, you are getting two sample T test. Data sample 1 and sample 2. T value minus 1.4589. Degrees of freedom 22. P value 0.1587. Alternative hypothesis, two differences in means is not equal to 0. 95% confidence interval for the difference sample estimates. Okay. Now you keep this in your mind. Then I will go to the theory part. Here you have two populations, population 1 and population 2. Maybe students of Kerala, students of Karnataka. Okay, reaction with the chemical 1, reaction with the chemical 1. Effect of training 1, effect of training 2. Effect of food 1, effect of food 2. So many examples you can create. We assume that the populations are normal. N mu1 sigma square, N mu2 sigma square. We assume that population variances are equal. In this case, you have to test H0 mu1 equal to mu2 or H0 mu1 minus mu2 is equal to delta. Again, so three possibilities. H1 mu1 less than mu2 or mu1 greater than mu2 or mu1 not equal to mu2 based on your problem. Based on your problem. Suppose you have to prove that Calicut University students are better than Kerala University students, mu1 greater than mu2 will be your alternative. Okay. If you consider two types of mobiles produced by one company A and another company B, okay, then you can have two types, mu1 equal to mu2 or mu1 greater than mu2 or mu1 not equal to mu2 depending on your problem. Okay. Then here again we have to collect. We have to collect observations from two populations. There is no other way. You have to collect observations from two populations. You take N1 students from Calicut University campus, N2 students from Kerala University campus. Okay. Then what is the best estimate for mu1? The sample mean of this sample. Best estimate for mu2? The sample mean of this one. Therefore, we have to test. There are three possibilities. Okay. Then what is the test statistic? X1 bar minus X2 bar. If this difference is very large, then they are not equal. Very logic. I am not using any mathematics. If this difference is very close to 0, then we cannot say that both are different. Okay, but here the population is different, here the population is different. Therefore, we have to standardize it. Okay, then only we can compare, correct? Then only we can compare, standardize it. Okay, and what is to be done here? Then here it is S into root of 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2. What is this here? The estimated variance. That is N1 minus 1 into S1 square plus N2 minus 1 into S2 square divided by N1 plus n2 minus 2. This follows T distribution with n1 plus n2 minus 2 degrees of freedom. Why? Before we have seen the degree of freedom of that is n1 minus 1. Degree of freedom of this is n2 minus 1. Okay, and n1 minus 1 into s1 square by sigma square. This follows chi-square with n1 minus 1 degrees of freedom, and n2 minus 1 into s2 square by sigma square. This follows with the chi-square with the n2 minus degrees of freedom. These two populations are independent. So when you add these things, this follows chi-square with the n1 plus n2 minus 2. n1 minus 1 plus n2 minus 1. Don't worry about such things. All those things will be done by R. Done by R. You can do it. You can do it yourself. No problem. This is our sample 1, sample 2. Okay. What is x1 bar? M1. M1 is equal to mean of sample 1. Mean of sample 1. And M2 is equal to mean of sample 2. Sample 2. S should be capital, otherwise it will create problem. Therefore, that is over. Then, yes, you have to find. Okay? First, I will find S square. S square is equal to n1 minus 1. What is n1? Length of sample 1. Length of sample 1. n1 is equal to length of sample 1. Length of sample 1. It is better you copy and paste. It is better you copy and paste. And n2 is equal to length of sample 2, so that then SS is n1 minus 1 into variance of sample 1 plus n2 minus 1 into variance of sample 2 divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2. In that case, I have to put all the terms in the numerator together. Okay, therefore SS I am getting. Therefore, S will be SS, the square root of SS will be SQRT SS. SQRT SS. Then you have 1 square root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2 is there. One more term is there. This is there. x1 bar minus x2 bar into s into root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. Yes, I have already found. This also I will find. Okay. Therefore, what is that term? Simply I take PP. PP is.
അപ്പുറം ഇക്വേഷൻ എഴുതിയപ്പോൾ x1 സ്ക്വയർ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ലേ?
ഇവിടെ ഇല്ല. വെരി ഗുഡ്. ദിസ് ഈസ് എസ് സ്ക്വയർ. ദിസ് ഈസ് എസ് സ്ക്വയർ. ഓക്കെ. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഞാനിവിടെ റൂട്ട് ഇട്ടാൽ മതിയായിരുന്നു. ഒന്നും ഞാൻ ചെയ്തില്ല. I am a fool. Okay. Then it is 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. എല്ലാ ഇൻഗ്രീഡിയൻസ് ആയി. ഇനി എന്ത് ചെയ്യുക? അതെല്ലാം കൂടെ ചേർത്ത് 5 മിനിറ്റ് ഇളക്കി ആവശ്യത്തിന് ഉപ്പിട്ട് വാങ്ങിയാൽ പണി കഴിഞ്ഞു. T is equal to m1 minus m2 divided by SSS into okay, SSS into PT. I think I have not made any mistake. I should get minus 1.489, otherwise some mistakes are there. From where I have to start? I think I have to start from here. SSS not found. Why SSS not found? There is an error here. Error in data frame object. Oh my God, you are not helping me. You are not helping me. This is a way to find the error. Here sample 2 not found means some error we have made in the definition of the object. Object sample 2 not found means some error. Actually, S should be capital and I have typed a small letter. That is the problem. Yeah, minus 1.458918. Minus 1.458, same thing. Okay, if you are not happy with the built-in function, you can write your own code like this. Now T is there. Now what is the next one? You have to find Qt. Qt or PT is better. PT is good. PT probability up to that. PT T comma degrees of freedom is what? N1 plus N2 minus 2. That's the degrees of freedom. Okay, PT. Okay, this is what we have taken two-side, no? Two-side test. Two-sided test. Okay, therefore, this is only one tail. You have to multiply this by 2. You have to multiply this by 2. Point 0.1587188. 0.1587188. Okay, this is a 95% confidence interval for the difference. Okay, yesterday we have discussed that is x1 bar minus x2 bar into t value into root of that, etc. This, etc. That is one. Using that formula, using that. Sample estimates 19.27 is M1. 19.27 is mean of the first population. Sorry, mean of the first sample. Okay. Sample estimates 19.27. 23.69, 23.6. All the details you are getting. All the details you are getting. All the details you are getting. Any other question? Hello. We will do one more problem. We will do one more problem. You just attempt because I have not sent the data. I have not sent the data. Yeah, this is paired data, something different. Yeah, X and Y, 2 data sets. Oh, no, it is just a repetition. Actually, you are all PG students. Why we repeat same thing? It is quite boring now. It is quite boring. Okay. T dot test. That's all. T dot test. X comma Y. Alternative. You can give. Okay. VAR dot equal is equal to true. VAR dot, all the other things, I assume that you will do yourself. Box plotter, QQ plot, etc. You will do. Yeah, 0.4983 for 2 sample test. Now, if we take 2 populations whose variances are not equal, then the corresponding test is not a t-test. It is Welch-Shapiro test. It is another test, Welch-Shapiro test. That is what I am going to explain now. Welk-Shapiro test. Okay. Where is Welk-Shapiro test? Yeah. There is also a widely used modification of the t-test known as Welk's t-test that adjusts the number of degrees of freedom when the variances are thought not to be equal to each other. First, we have to check whether the variances are equal or not. Okay, that I will discuss when we do the testing for variances. The function t-test is available in R for performing t-test, but in that case there is a small problem. Degree of freedom in the t-test, the degree of freedom is n1 plus n2 minus 2. Here the degree of freedom is s square a by na plus s square b by nb, the whole square divided by s raised to 4a by n square a into na minus 1 plus s raised to 4 by b n square bb nb minus 1. Don't frighten about this. You need not worry about these things. Okay. Why I am giving you this one is when you simplify this expression, the resulting value need not be an integer. It may be a fractional value also. Sometimes that may be a real, that surely that will be a positive real number, but some decimal parts may be there. Some decimal parts may be there. Okay. Therefore, if here I am not giving the tag var not equal to t, that I am not giving. Now you see the output. Now you see the output. I cannot delete, I think. No, I cannot delete. Okay. Therefore, I have to expand the screen. Yeah, here two sample t-test, here Welk two sample t-test. Why? Here you see VAR not equal to T is there. Here that is not there. Here you can see degrees of freedom 21.775. 21.775 is there. Here it is 22. Because when the variances are not equal, it will adjust the degrees of freedom. P value 0.6232, here also P value 0.6233, okay, and other things are okay. This is the only difference when the variances are not equal. Actually, this is not a parametric test, this is a non-parametric test, okay. Therefore, when we find that variances are not equal, the crucial assumption of the t-test is violated. Mainly, there are three assumptions. Two parent populations are normal. Two population variances are equal. The two populations are independent. These are the three crucial assumptions to perform t-test. Okay. If you are having 300, 400, 50, 60, 70 like observations, number of observations, you can make use of central limit theorem. As n tends to infinity, almost all things are normal. Almost all, not all. There are some distributions which are there not obeying central limit theorem. Okay. Therefore, you don't worry about these things if you are having large number of observations. Here, small number of observations are there. 10 observations, 12 observations, 15 observations, like that. Okay. And if you find that the variances are not equal, you cannot go for two sample t-test. In that case, you have to go for two sample Welk test. Welk test. Okay, you can go to some article and see. Okay, Welk test. Welk, yeah, Welk test in R. Using t-test in R, unpaired two sample test, unpaired Welk test function, R documentation. You can see. Okay, it is not good. It is not good. It is Welk test perform Welk heteroscedastic if test Welk heteroscedastic. What that is not good for us. That is not good for us. You need some explanation. Suppose that we have measured the weight of that note 1, the unpaired compare mean of 2 independent, something like this you take. Okay. Yeah, this is a formula for the degrees of freedom, etc. You will get. That is enough. I am giving you the reference also using t-test in R. One of the where it is bulk test is coming. Yeah. One final method for comparing distribution is worth mentioning. We noted previously that one of the assumptions for the t-test is that the variances of the two samples are equal. However, a modification of the test is known as bulk test is set to correct this problem by estimating variance and adjusting degrees of freedom to use in the t-test. This correction is performed by default, but can be shut off by using this one argument. Okay, that's all. That is all. That is all. Okay. Next one is testing of proportions. Testing of proportions. Testing of proportions. Testing of proportions. That is there in the syllabus. What is the question here? One sample problem. Suppose you take a sample of 100 items in a packet. A packet contains 100 items. A packet of items contains 100 numbers. And you find that 2 items are defective. 2 items are defective. So what is the proportion of defective items? 2 by 100. The company claims that the proportion of defectives will be 0.001. 0.001. That is the company's claim. That is a claim of the company. And you want to test whether the claim of the company is valid or not. That's all. This is proportion of defectives. Now you can do this for 2 populations. Items produced by company A, items produced by company B. And you are buying a packet of items containing 100 items. A packet of items containing, maybe you can take a same or different, no problem, of 50 items. Out of these 100 items, 4 items are defective. Out of these 50 items, 3 items are defective. What is the proportion of defectives? 4 by 100. What is the proportion of defectives? 3 by 50. And what is your problem? You are a researcher. You want to know whether the proportion of defectives produced by 2 companies are same or not same. Not same. This is a problem. This is a problem. Okay, it is a application. No. Now you can think about variety of problems. You can think about proportion of girl students in science departments, proportion of girl students in language department. Okay, and you want to know whether these proportions are same or not. Okay. And all these have applications in quality control, okay, and proportion of families with regarding some income less than 10,000 rupees per month, okay, in one state, other one in another state. Here, what is the parent distribution? The parent distribution is binomial. Parent distribution is binomial. Why it is binomial? If you take any item, there are only two possibilities. Either the item is a good item or the item is a bad item. Either the good item or the bad item. Okay. Here we will make use of central limit theorem. What is central limit theorem says? Very simple and very beautiful theorem. If x1, x2, etc., xn are independent for the time being, I am putting so many conditions. Independent, identically distributed random variables. What do we identically distributed random variables? All have same distribution. If x1 is binomial, everything is binomial. If x1 is normal, everything is normal. With the two conditions, expectation of x finite and variance of x also finite. Okay, then under this very strict conditions, okay, and there are so many versions of central limit theorem with a number of changes, need not be identically distributed, like that. So many things are there. But this is the first form of the central limit theorem. Then the theorem says that Sn minus its average divided by square root of variance of Sn is asymptotically normal as n tends to infinity. As n tends to infinity. It's a wonderful theory actually. Wonderful theory actually. x1, x2, etc. xn are supposed binomial. They have discrete distribution. Binomial is a discrete distribution. That discrete distribution is approximately following normal distribution. Poisson, this is true. Negative binomial, this is true. Gamma, this is true. Exponential, this is true. But there are some distributions which do not satisfy this condition. This condition. This is central limit theorem. This is central limit theorem. Okay. Now we will make use of central limit theorem, and actually we are having only minimum hours to complete so many portions. Otherwise, I could have drawn a number of. Now that I give you an assignment, you take binomial, you take Poisson, you take gamma, etc., and you increase n. First, you take n is equal to 10, n is equal to 20, n is equal to 30, n is equal to 40, etc., and you should get a symmetric curve. In the beginning, for small values of n, the curve may be a skewed one. But for large values of n, you will get a symmetric curve. Okay, it's a wonderful exercise. You can make use of any reference in the art book itself. Number of problems have been done, and you can get a number of articles from websites. Okay. One more thing I have to tell. Continuity correction. Continuity correction. What is continuity correction? Suppose you have to make a payment 90 rupees 78 paise to Government of India, then you have to pay 20 rupees. That's all. If you have to pay 19 rupees 8 paise, then you need to pay only 19 rupees. This is continuity correction. This is continuity correction. That is 20 rupees. The payment of 20 rupees need not be actually 20. Need not be actually 20. It is greater than 19.5 and less than 20.5. Okay, up to 19.5, it will go to this place. Okay, if it is more than 19.5, that is a middle point. More than 19.5, you have to make a payment of 20 rupees. If it is less than 20 rupees 50 paise, then you need to pay only 20 rupees. Therefore, 20 rupees need not be actually 20 rupees. The payment we are making 20 rupees doesn't mean that the actual price is, the actual payment we have to make is 20 rupees. It will be greater than 19.5 rupees, okay, and less than 20.5 rupees. Therefore, we have to, sometimes we have to add 0.5 or sometimes we have to subtract 0.5. That's all. That is the concept of continuity correction. In this case, we have to test the null hypothesis H naught, P is equal to P naught. What is this P naught? The hypothetical value, the value suggested by the company. What is the company? In our packets, the proportion of defectives is 0.01. Therefore, P naught is 0.01. Okay. In this case, we will use the statistic Z is equal to X plus or minus half. X plus or minus half divided by N minus P divided by root of P into 1 minus P by N. This follows N01. What is X? X is the number of successes. X is the number of successes. Number of successes or number of defectives in this case. Very logically correct, no? If X is the number of defectives, then what is X by N? X by N is proportion of defectives. This is the sample information. This is a sample information. Now what is this P? Hypothetical information. Okay. Now you just take this value and compare with the normal distribution. Okay. All right. We will do a small example. Okay. In a 1 year, mortality investigation, 45 of the 250 90 year old people present at the start of the year died before the end of the year. Okay, here 250 people were there and at the end there were only 205. Okay, all these people were 90 years old. Okay, then what's the question? Test whether the mortality rate is 0.2. Test whether the mortality rate for that just a minute. Okay. Test whether the mortality rate for that group is 0.2. Okay. Then what is to be done? Very simple. H naught is 0.2. H naught is P is equal to 0.2. Okay. And what is the alternative hypothesis? H1 P naught equal to 0.2. 0.2. Okay. Then here 250 persons are there. Okay. 250 persons are there. Then what is X by N? X by N is 45 by 250. 45 by 250. This is the proportion of people died during the 1 year, not ordinary people, 90 years old people, because this example is taken from insurance problem. Okay, then here this is very large, 250 is very large, therefore you can even forget about continuity correction. Therefore Z is equal to X by N minus P naught by root of P into 1 minus P by N. That is 45 by 250 minus 0.2 divided by root of 0.16 by 250. Okay. 45 by 250 minus 0.2. Why should I worry? I can use, my dear friends, 45 by 250 minus 0.2 divided by square root of 0.16 divided by 250. Am I correct? Number of brackets. Okay. Now this value is y negative 0.790. Negative 0.790. Then all other things are as before. Only the function is changing. Only this function is changing. That is what I told you. For diabetics, you have to use one chemical. For cholesterol, you have to use another chemical. For mean, you have to use one function. For proportion, you have to use another function. For difference of means, you have to use another function. For correlation coefficient, you have to use one function. For regression coefficients, you have to use another function. Okay, like that. Like that. Okay. Now, here it is normal distribution. Normal distribution. Okay. Then I know the values for 95% minus 1.96 plus 1.96. What is the value I got here? I forgot. A negative 0.79. Negative 0.79. That is somewhere here. That is somewhere here. That is somewhere here. Now, what is the conclusion? What is the conclusion? The sample evidence is not sufficient to reject H naught. The sample evidence is not sufficient to reject H naught. Okay? Or the sample evidence is insufficient to accept H1. That means what? The mortality rate is 0.2 among the population of 90-year-old people in that society. In that society. Okay? Now you can extend this to two population. Two population. You simply use your logic to develop the things. P1 is the proportion for the first population and P2 is the proportion for the second population. Okay? P1 is the proportion for the first population P2 is a proportion for the second population. What is the idea? If P1 is equal to P2, we are very happy. No need of testing is needed. No need of testing is needed. Therefore, you take the difference. You take the difference. If this difference is very close to 0, then we can conclude that the two proportions are equal. Okay? You have to standardize this. P1 bar minus P2 bar divided by P bar into 1 minus P bar into 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2. What is this P bar? The combined proportion. Combined proportion. Okay? That is P1 x1 by N1 plus x2 by N2 divided by N1 plus N2. P1 bar is x1 by N1. Okay. P2 bar is x2 by N2. Okay. Sorry, x1 plus x2 by x1 plus x2. P bar is x1 plus x2 by N1 plus N2, where x1 is the number of defectives in the first packet, x2 is the number of defectives in the second packet. Okay, so what is x1? N1 P1 bar plus N2 P2 bar divided by N1 plus N2. This is the, what is x1? Number of defectives in the first packet. x2 is the number of defectives in the second packet. Therefore, x1 plus x2 is the total defectives. Total defectives. N1 is the number of items in the first packet. N2 is the number of items in the second packet. Therefore, what is N1 plus N2? Total items. Therefore, total defectives divided by total items means what? Proportion for the total sample. This follows normal. This follows normal. You find P1 bar, you find P2 bar, you find P1 bar, you find P2 bar, you find P and substitute here. Substitute here. And you look at the table value. If it is within the acceptance region, accept. If it is outside the acceptance region, you write the sample is not favorable to accept H0 like that. Okay. We will do a small problem. Okay. In a 1 year mortality investigation, 25 of the 190-year-old men, 190-year-old men, and 20 of the 150-90-year-old women died during 1 year. Died during 1 year. Okay, can we say that the mortality rate is same for men and women? Men and women. Okay, here we have two populations. Here we have two populations. One is population for men and other is population for women. First step is what? Write H0. Write H0, P1 equal to P2. What is alternative? P1 not equal to P2. What is Z? P1 minus P2 divided by root of P into 1 minus P into 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2. What is P1? 25 by 100. P2 20 by 150. What is P? P is 25 plus 20 divided by 100 plus 150. That is 45 by 250. 25 passed away from the men population. 20 passed away from women population. Total number of items, sorry, total number of people 250. Therefore, root of P into 1 minus P into 1 by 100 plus 1 by 150. 1 by 150. Okay. You simplify this one. We can make use of R 25 by 100. 25 by 100 minus 20 by 150, okay, divided by square root of 45 by 250 into 1 minus 45 by 250, that is 205 by 250, okay, into 1 by 100 plus 1 by 150. Please tell me where I have to close the bracket. Numerator is correct. Square root of, I think it is better we put a bracket here. It's better we put a bracket there so that, okay, and then I have to close this brackets, okay, 45 by 250, 20 by 50, etc. 1 by 100, this no problem. Before this go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Let us hope that we have not made any mistake. 18.22. 18.22. Is it correct? What is the value you are getting? 25 by 200. 45 by 250, 205 by 250. Okay, suppose you are getting the value x. Suppose you are getting the value x. This bracket is closed here. The square root of 250. This one, 1 by 100. Girish, is it all right?
It's okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Then look at the table value. It is 1.96. Therefore, this value is far away from that. Therefore, mortality rate for male population and female population cannot be considered to be same. That's the conclusion. That's the conclusion. Okay. Therefore, this is the testing of proportions. Now, where is the timetable? Syllabus. Estimation testing, confidence interval, large and sample test, equality of means, paired t-test. Paired t-test means what? In two sample t-test, we have two different populations. Two different populations. Okay? Suppose you consider only one sample. You consider only one sample. One situation is this. You consider one sample and the observations are taken at two different points of time. At two different points of time. For example, before the training program, how many items are, what is to be done? How many items are scheduled notes? What is the technical term? Suppose so many items are given and you are arranging those to an item. What is the term? So many items are scheduled notes. Okay. Organized. Organized is also not the proper word. Okay. Arranged. Okay, like that. Number of items. Number of items completed. Okay. And a skill development program was given. And after the training program, how many items are? Again, you have a body building exercise. Okay. Before the training program, what was the weight? After the training program, what was the weight? Here, corresponding to each person, you are having a pair of observations. X1 before. Okay. And I still remember while we were students, there was a tonic called Power Malt. Power Malt. And in the advertisement, they will give two pictures before taking Power Malt and after taking Power Malt. Okay. And so many people will buy, and the weight of their money purse will be reduced. That is all. There is no change in the weight of their muscles. Okay. Again, you consider Amitabh Bachchan. Okay. Amitabh Bachchan. Before making Amitabh Bachchan as the ambassador, what was the volume of sales? After making Amitabh Bachchan as the ambassador, what is the volume of sales? Then you want to check whether Amitabh Bachchan has some influence in the increase in the sales. Now you can define and discuss a number of problems. Okay, before consuming a sleeping tablet, how many hours that patient was sleeping? After consuming the sleeping tablets, how many hours the patient was sleeping? This is one situation. Another situation is, in some cases, we can pair the opinion together. Pair the opinion together. That is opinion of husband and wife, like that. Okay? In such case also, we can use paired t-test. Paired t-test. Paired t-test. Okay? Here, there is a small difference. That is all. There is a small difference. That is all. What is the difference? Here you are having only one sample. Only one sample. And you are taking observations at two different points of time. One you can take as before. Okay. Then you take D. D is equal to X minus Y. If there is no difference, what will be D for? D bar should be approximately equal to 0. D bar should be approximately equal to 0. Therefore, here we can consider this D bar as an indicator. If D bar is far away from 0, far above from 0, that means what? X is higher than Y. If it is very less than 0, X is less than Y. Finished. Therefore, what is the test statistic? D bar divided by a standard error of D bar. This follows T distribution with the n-1 degrees of freedom. There is a simple logic. You take the difference between X value and minus Y values, and you take the average. If the average is very close to 0, there is no difference of Power Malt. If the average is very high than 0, Power Malt is good. Okay? Paired t-test. Paired t-test. Okay? പറഞ്ഞതിൽ പാതി പറയാതെ പോയി, പറഞ്ഞതിൽ പാതി പതിരായും പോയി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരുപാട് പ്രിപ്പയർ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഒന്നും ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. Okay? Here, t-test, that's all. I will show you. This I shall send now itself. Okay? Because I have to do one-way ANOVA also, two-way ANOVA also, correlation also, regression also. Okay, here X values before y values after. D is the difference. What is a function? P dot test B. Okay, what is mu? Hypothetical value. D bar should be 0. Done. 10 observations are there. 10 pairs are there. Degree of freedom is 9. P value is very small. Very small. Okay. Therefore, that is what's the meaning of that one? What's the meaning of that one? The means of x and y are significantly different. Okay. Let us find mean of x and y. Mean of x and y. You can see what are the means. One is 46 and another is 51. Mean of x is weight before taking power malt. And 51 is weight after taking power malt. Therefore, power malt is good for increasing weight. Don't take it as an advertisement. They will take you actually. 46 is marks before the training. 51 is marks after the training. That is, the training for R is effective. Okay. Any question? I am sure you will have doubts and questions. Okay, you can get at least 10 millions of articles. 10 millions of articles. Okay, therefore you take some of the articles, and I have suggested some wonderful books. Hogan Craig. Hogan Craig is freely available, or you don't worry about these things. You take only small things. Okay, testing problems for means. You want you take a PDF. Okay, so how many articles? My God, 2 sample problems. Okay, don't take all the articles. Some articles are not good. So many garbage also available. Look at the author, PhD. Okay, you can use this one, 13 pages. Wonderfully given. Okay, it is for the population, normal population, etc. And they have diagrams. Only 13 pages. Data is also given. Okay, now this is SPSS output, not R output. Okay, and if you are not happy with that, you take lecture 17. I don't know by whom. You take only one portions and spend 1 hour and study the technique. Do 2-3 problems and make a note of that. Lecture 17 is Michael Halston, PhD also. This should be bad. Okay, what's the mean time in waiting in City Hall, etc. He is giving practical examples. He is doing problems, diagrams for p-values, etc. Okay, this is, I have multiplied by 2. He has added, that's all. 1 or 2 articles you take and study. Don't postpone things. You can postpone only your death. You can wish to postpone your death only. Don't postpone to study. Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask me. It is already 1:03.
Sir, can we use that t dot test x comma y pair equal to t?
That's
That will directly work this pair t test.
yeah, sure. Paired is equal to 2.
Yeah.
Same thing, same output will go. That's what I do. It is, we have so many options. Instead of mu is equal to 0, you can use x comma y comma paired. Paired is equal to 2. Even t is enough. T is enough. Yeah, minus 5.0778 minus 5.0048. 0.000669. Yeah, same effect. All these 2 functions are available in a base module. You need not download any package. botany, zoology, chemistry students need this. I don't know about physics students. Okay, they have to do so many things, no, with the lab work. Tell me any questions or any doubt? Are you getting something from our discussion? I don't know, because we are doing so many things in 15 hours. Actually, it is a one semester program. Girish, is it so?
Yes, it is a BSc statistics syllabus is covered.
Yeah, this is covered in 15 days. Okay. No, but you are all intelligent students, I know. Okay, therefore you can sit and work. Okay. If you have no questions, with your permission, shall I wind up?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
I shall send the course now itself. All these things are already sent. I shall send once again because I don't know up to what point I had sent or not. Therefore, copy. I am taking another file. I am taking another file and I am pasting file, save as this PC physics folder, 28 new. Okay. Then I have to go to mail and I have to select Shahin sir and reply. Then C, attach file, physics 28 new. I need not search, it is already available. Okay. Sent. Okay, sir, it is reached. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, once again.